Dear USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I just want to have this as a generic civil justice sign off. Whatever I want for the civil justice, for I am displaying the USA government errors, public sector errors, private sector errors, and how USA government operations got destroyed, and for displaying the absolute monarchs scandal. I, Vethapriya PROSE, wanted these civil justice to be provided to me. Okay, so I'll just read this sign off so that it will be in all these other sessions. Okay, so for I, Vethapriya PROSE, native Indian tribe, Christian Jew of Israel, Judah, Jerusalem, and true owner of USA, and proved USA is Tamil Nadu, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, have highest impasse eligibility to lead USA. I must be the interim leader of USA now is civil justice served. And for I, Vethapriya PROSE, displayed USA government errors and the scandal of absolute monarchs to USA government. I, Vethapriya PROSE, for civil justice as in Holy Bible guidelines. I, Vethapriya PROSE, want United States of America nation to rename Lord Ripon Building in Tamil Nadu, India, after my name Vethapriya is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become the Vatican leader now is civil justice served. And Pope Francis resigns abruptly now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Civil Judge for all nations, now is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, become Supreme Chief Family Law and Supreme Chief Children Judge for all nations is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to become Global Poverty Relief Medical Director Chief for all nations, to lead and guide World Bank, United Nations organizations, World Health Organizations, Center for Disease Control, Department of Children Families, Department of Health Services, Department of Justice, Department of Revenue, Department of Agriculture, Department of Imports Export, Department of Military in all nations across the globe is civil justice served. And I, Vethapriya PROSE, to be the ambassador for all nations, starting with India, and I, Vethapriya PROSE, should get dual citizenship of USA and India now is civil justice served. And thank you all for your time. Take care, my dear fellow mankind. I sure will get civil justice for entire human kingdom in 1 minute. Thank you all for your time. Bye for now. Dear USA, all nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans, I hope we are all on the same page on this regard of very, very crucial closure civil justice sign-off I'm providing for myself, and it is also multitasking, right? And what is this civil justice is all about, and you all will be total shocked, right? So I just want to provide a little bit of overview without going too much, delay. It is about when I was working on the Poverty Free Earth End of the Year 2030 volunteer project, right? Saddest reality is nobody knew what is nation. I'm not joking, my dear fellow mankind. Please do not laugh. It is not funny, right? The population were 7.9 plus 3 billions, right? So nobody knew what is nation, what is national flag, what is national anthem, right? And then again, you are laughing, I know. I have to step in and just educate what is a nation, what is a flag, what is national anthem, and what is a land. And when God created the planet Earth, how it was only formless, and then he created the land and the oceans, and the oceans part was 70% and 30% was a land, and there is a reason behind it, because that much oxygen must be provided. There are different sources of oxygen, but then oceans have to be 70% because water have the components of hydrogen and oxygen, and then how it gets converted into oxygen for the humans to breathe. Like this I was educating everything from the scratch. So then it's an empty land. Then how can the land be alive? It's a non-living thing, right? Then God created Adam and Eve, and that is how population got increased, and that is how each empty land, the non-living land, became alive only because humans are living, and that is how it is holiest nation. Each nation is a holiest nation. And when I provided education about the national flag, I said each nation designed the national flag according to their design choices, but on the generic level, all the national flag, the moment the civilian sees a national flag, they all get to see how many soldiers of God they died shedding the blood, and each national flag soaked and marinated and weaved on the bloodshed of the soldiers of God for helping, for wishing, for praying to God for the humans to live in perfect harmony and peace. So population was super shocked, they never got that education, right? So can you all see, people never knew what is poverty, what is refugee, what is civilians dying on the war front, what is war equipment, what is gunpowder, what is lethal toxic drugs, right? No, nothing. So that was a pathetic states, isn't it? When population don't know nothing, even when there is an education facility, that's pathetic state, right? It's not only in United States alone, it is worldwide. So I educated what is a nation, what is a national anthem, what is a school, why. I already educated, right? Always for me, I need to know what is the objective that can help my brain to process. Just like that, I cannot celebrate a festival. I already educated you, right? So if at all I want to celebrate the festival, it will be fullest, okay? It will be a real celebration of that festival. That's me. So for me, I thought, okay, why can't I educate? So that means it was a classroom. The audience is wide audience. So that means governments will be there, population will be there, educated will be there, But then it was the very first time they're getting education mode process only. Beyond adults might be thinking, oh, why on this earth this lady is telling everything that we all know already, like that, right? Because national anthem means what? Everybody knows that what is it, national and national anthem, right? So, but then people were wondering why, what. So then they got that education. So it's only after my education they got this education about what is a nation, what is a national anthem, what is a land, how the land became alive. It's only because of humans, otherwise it will not be alive, and how it became a continent, like that. Then, okay, that time all the nations were busy fighting with wars, the Syria, whatever I could remember. These are all the keywords. So please be carefully listening to my wisdom education. Why I'm saying keywords means immediately the Facebook, all the people who worked with me on the volunteer job, they could relate me. Oh, yeah, that lady, yeah, yes. Oh, is she? Oh my gosh, like that. Why? When I was working on the poverty-free earth, the 7-year-long Syria war, right? And then how the UNICEF people, they were struggling to provide the helping people, and that's a scandal. But it was those time I was just only in analysis mode. For me, okay, I want to analyze why war. What is the reason for the war? First tell me, like that. And then nobody knew what is war. So I have to define that. See, there is a code of ethics for war, and a nation must meet these criteria, these guidelines, and only when that is checked off, only then they can go for war. And whenever there is a war, it is a root cause for creating a poverty. So there is that root cause. So if at all you want to go create a poverty somewhere, just create a war, period. Like, throwing people in a toxic relationship if you do not like your peers, right? It's the same thing. If you want to create a poverty, all you have to do is just create a war. So, but then these foolish people, the Syria, the Islam, the Judaism, the Zionism, they always keep fighting only, right? The news channel will be saying, here war, here bomb, there bomb, see, these people died, that people died, this child died, like that. That's too much of emotional disturbances, isn't it? Beyond our fellow mankind being tortured in the name of war, be it military people are getting tortured one side, so I have to educate, okay, in the war life cycle, who will all get abused, who all are victims of abuse. So in the war life cycle, I provided a breakdown. So people were getting the educated in the correct way, right? So, okay, breakdown one is what, level one is what, military people. They will be either army, navy, marine or navy seals. Those are those population, okay. Then there will be the regular civilians, like average civilians like you and me, okay. Then the other people will be called as a terrorist. Are you all laughing? Yeah, terrorist. And that moment I made a pause. Okay, that means I stopped. And I educated, hey. Here, can you all see that how there's a crime? And people could not see it, right? So they must have thought me a weirdo. Then again, I patiently educated. There is a terrorist group, right? They are called as rebels also in some places. These people, they were born innocent only. They were born innocent and created by God. So that means what happened from newborn baby up until the rebellion says it all, right? So then I educated, see, there must be some unhealthy influences that must be provided, okay? Unhealthy influences must be provided. Is it God? No. Why would even God be bothered to provide unhealthy influence when he shed his labor to procreate humans in his image, right? Nobody, that's a wisdom. So it is a not applicable process, okay? Is it you and me? No. We all love only in a peace, to live in harmony, like that, okay? Then who is it? Trace. Knock. Where? Means everything traced to the absolute monarchs only, right? So that means for me, when I was working on analyzing the war itself, I blacklisted the absolute monarchs. If you all go and there's another keyword. I in fact wanted, what did I educated for the keywords for them to remember on the memory lane? Yeah. I also said if Russia and if Islam leaders and if, Queen Elizabeth, Pope was, though in the blacklisted, my brain was not thinking whether he'll be the war creator. Can you see? Today only I know all the truth. So at that time I said, okay, if at all they wanted to love to create war, why can't they open a war session in Roman Colosseum, right? And why can't Queen Elizabeth be in the war? And why can't Russian leader, Islam leaders be in the war, fight with each other, kill each other? That'd be great, isn't it? Because we civilians can live happily ever after, taking care of ourselves like that. So that was a super wisdom education, right? So people started to think, okay, this wisdom talk is indeed God's Holy Spirit way of taking control the worldwide, right? Nobody educated that way. Everybody was only worshipping Queen Elizabeth as a god and Russia as a god. So for me, from the track record, I know Queen Elizabeth only created wars worldwide. That's no doubt about it, right? Everybody knows, okay? And we all know that Russia has its own war crimes, and every nation has its own war crimes. So I have to crack down on war by war, region by region, nation by nation, continent by continent. And then what did I say? Oh my gosh, there is only two nations that I can quarantine because those two nations have different patterns in the entire war life cycle. What it is, I already educated. India never went for war. India never created war. And United States of America, though looked like went for war and destroyed everywhere worldwide, it was framed, it was set up to look like that. So then, okay, so that I explained, that I educated. Then people got, oh my gosh, is that so? Oh no. Then they are witnessing with their own eyes, meaning when I'm cracking down the puzzle, everybody getting the puzzle solved. When I am getting educated, everybody gets educated same time. So when I was providing fastest way of brain surgery, eye surgery, art surgery for entire human kingdom same time, means everybody got the wisdom education correctly. That's the meaning of. So until I educated, United States of American population never even knew there are no nations outside of USA. I already said, for them, for the population, the 300 million population, innocent they are, right? For them, United States alone is a nation. United States alone is a world. So for them, anything that comes out of United States will be alien. And I also educated how on the earth they even got that word. It's because of the sci-fi movies and sci-fi TV shows, When we all see, it's all Robo-Moo, the Star Trek and all, I don't even know whether younger generation knows about the Star Trek. But we all grew up in that. I grew up in that era, the Star Trek TV shows, right? Yeah, back then in India, we used to get those shows as well. We used to get that and the Spider-Man animated movie with that title song, Spider-Man, Spider-Man, like that. I forgot that full lyrics, but that's how the tune goes. And there used to be that robo, that giant robo doing all evil things and how people get rid of it, like that. And King Kong, the gorilla movie, you all know about it, right? So yeah, we grew up in that era. So that means people were always thinking about, oh, is there a real planet outside? Oh, then that means aliens. So that's how the brains of 300 millions of Europeans' brains in United States of America was damaged. So that is how there is a word called alien in the earth. There should never be alien, right? Because you, I, me, everybody are human. So I have to educate what is human, what is alien. Hey people, there is never alien. It's just a sci-fi movie. It's only in the stories it comes like that. So then it's a wisdom education because the Europeans for the first time, they're getting to know what is human. See, that is a lot of brain transition, isn't it? From getting transition from aliens, there are aliens existing in different planets, from that brain mode to, oh my gosh, are there humans outside of United States of America? It's good to know. Then like that they were started to listen. Then I educated, see, there are different continents and you all know why it got displaced like that. It is because of the natural disasters. Then they got education level 2. So first they wanted to know there are never aliens, so that they got educated. Then they have to know how continents are continents and how it got displaced like that. So I educated, it's only because of the natural calamities like tsunamis and earthquakes, and that displays, that cracked down the landmass and it cracked down. Okay. Then I educated That time when I did the homework, it was 193 nations. So if you all, that is another keyword. 193 nations and 7.9 plus billions of humans are the keywords, because I have to count, right? I have to count how much population are there, how many nations are there, and then I have to provide the healthy budgeting for the medical services, welfare services, like that. So then the people got educated. Oh my God, this many nations are there. Oh wow, good to know. Then like that, they were so eager to know. When people love to get educated, they are in a very, eager mode, curious mode, want to know about the truth mode. Then I educated, see, there are 193 nations, however, there are islands. Then I have to explain what is island, right? So I was educating right from the foundation, very basic level. Fools were only mocking, must have been mocking me. Why I am saying all these things. But then only wisest people will be aware. An excellent teacher, always, regardless of whatever state the audience are, will teach from the scratch, so that everybody gets to know everything in the rightful way. Right? The genius will be there, fast learner will be there, a laggingly slow brain understanding people will be there, right? So that is an excellent teaching skill sets given by God. So I was educating. This is how, like that. And there are islands, and people are living in islands, and I also explained what is Native Indian tribe, what languages they have, their own languages. And that was one of the barrier, that the Europeans never able to understand the language of the Native Indian tribes, right? So then I educated. That was also one of the root cause for the wars and why they want to get rid of the innocent Native Indian tribes. It's like that. And you all, if you are going to see, I think March is ending, the Black History Month, right? And then comes the Jewish Holocaust Remembrance Month, and then comes the Native Indians history. It all comes, right? And then comes the Earth Day, then the Environment Day, so many. Then Mother's Day, Father's Day, Brother's Day, Sister's Day, Friendship Day, on, and then we have Merry Christmas too, right? So I was going on educating. Okay, this is how it is. This is what this nation is, like that. And it was a holy wisdom, right? It's a clean education they're getting. So they were so keen and eager to know more of what education I'm providing. So I provided, see, there's 193 nations and this many population, and each fiscal year a nation should have the population counter, that's called as a census, because that's how they know how many roughly. See, it's all rough estimation only. Even today, by now it should be at least 8 billion after all, right? Because of the birth rate, the death rate, like that. But then still, I want to provide that as a keyword, means that was a keywords which I was working on that project. So I want to keep that as a keyword. That way people all can relate it. So I educated, this is how the population counter should start, and it will be started every physical calendar year, the start of the year, and there will be a birth rate calculation and death rate calculation every single day until that year ends, that until December 31st. So that way they know, okay, they can provide an approximate budget. Okay, this much budget must be provided for human kingdom. Then I went on explaining to the different layers. See, we can calculate some approximate count for the human population, but sadly, even in the robo era, we cannot calculate the total amount of animal kingdom, total amount of plant kingdom, and that's just the way it is. We have to live with it. But only approximate budget can be allocated for that, right? So that means you have to calculate how many insects are there, how many worms are there, how many molds are there, how many fungi are there, how many bacteria are there. We cannot even see how many viruses are there, and then how many lions are there, how many tigers are there, how many pet animals are there, how many farm animals are there, how many zoo animals are there, how many circus animals are there, right? It's a lot, isn't it? So, but then I also went uneducated. There are still a lot more of plants that needs to be researched and provided with name. So people are still working on that. The same thing for the animal kingdom. So it's not only land animals. There are amphibians, means what? That can live in both land and water, right? Like turtles, the frogs, like that, the alligators, the crocodiles, like that. Then there are sea animals, right? The fishes and whatnot. So I educated all these. So then people also have to calculate about how much natural resources, the chemical compound, right? The planet Earth is called as a core, right? So that means it has all the chemical compounds. Without those, we cannot even survive, right? Without oxygen, can we live? No, we will all die, right? So that is why we are all in the earth after all. Earth is oxygen, only because of oxygen only we are able to survive and live. And that is the only proof that there is God, right? And here I want to provide a testimony. These are all the keywords so that people will relate me. Oh, yeah, that lady, like that. When I was working on that Poverty Free Earth of End of the Year project, I could remember 2 or 3 incidents which I will say it. I think the NASA came up with the Mars project, MAR, planet project, and if I and NASA team are in same page, they provided a timeline of 500-year project for that. Okay, and a few days back, or 1 or 2 days back, I saw about the news about the Mars project, the Perseverance or something like that, and it was good to see in the memory lane. Oh my gosh, they said 500 years. Oh, is it true, or are they making it or creating a story out of it? Meaning there's a hidden puzzle behind it, because they knew that I was working on a poverty free project, and they all knew that I'm going to finish it perfectly. NASA teams, all the wisest people knew that I am going to crack down on the true criminal, and they were just waiting for me to provide that true criminal, because they knew somebody got to do the job, let her do the job, and she will do the task correctly. So everybody knew that. So 2 days back, I saw that Mars, that NASA part of it, and that created that little bit of that memory lane, and I wanted to share it so that we all can be on the same page, right? The correct keyword is what? 500-year project. But today, they provided whatever in that Perseverance, and I don't know. So then, whether that is aligning with whatever my education, with my project, I would say yes, that's how it is, right? And then one more thing is, out of nowhere, it's an accomplishment only, I would say, right? India is a developing country, and I already said that it was only because of my education and hard labor I made a developing nation, India, to be a developed nation, just because of my education only. So, when all the nations, regardless of listening to me, to my wisdom education, providing national policy process or not, India was also listening. That I knew. And there are very proofs about that, right? I already educated on that. And one of the accomplishment was they provided MOM, MOM. Okay, I don't know the full form for it, but then they came up with that project that they want to provide a satellite in a similar kind of that NASA sending satellite thing. They want to provide similar kind of a project, and initially with ups and downs, yes, they were successfully able to do it. Right? I don't know where they are at in their different phases, but that is one of the baby step of accomplishment, right? It's a team process. I was from my end, I was only educating and how I was running all the nations and how all the peers were listening to my wisdom and just doing the task I was asking them to do, and how it is all a team process only, right? So I was just educating, and with my education alone, people started doing tasks. So that is a governance, that is an excellent leadership, right? So that is one of the accomplishment. So, but then even when I'm talking right now, if at all there be any Indians on the audience, right? They will be shocked to know, oh, is this the lady? Oh my gosh, like that, right? And that included the people known to me, and that included the two special ones in my life too, right? So that's how that is all. I'm providing one side testimony, one side I'm displaying why God is God always, all the time, like that. Because from being a developing nation to be developed, to be transitioned to be a developed nation, it's a lot of transition, isn't it? It's a lot of transition. And then, okay, when I was educating this, then what did all the software population do? For software giants did. They got my education, right? So from Facebook to Amazon to Google to Apple to Microsoft, even before my education, whether they were existing in India. But then it was only because of my education there were more updates and upgrades were provided to India. I think it was around that time Google came up with affordable laptops, the Chrome laptops, right? Chrome browser laptops, like that. And then, the internet neutrality, meaning when United States of America is alone as having fastest internet, India is lagging behind. So then people were software world, the World Wide Web, people were able to provide that assistance. They were running there, and Facebook was running to India, Amazon was running to India, right? You all get it. And then everybody wanted to run to India because I was educated only with my wisdom education only. Okay, and you all know how that remote education pathways I provided, and right now it is happening. I just only provided a envision, a pathway, a roadmap, and how it got in its own ways, right? It's all team process only, my dear fellow mankind. I only educated in India. There are remote villages, and then the people will not have that luxury to have a school, go to school, or have that, but then how, if they could have that internet connection, and if they could be provided with a laptop, or if they have a television, and how education can be provided through television shows, right? Then those people also can be educated, right? So these are all the things I provide. And then what more accomplishment I provided is, India was very, very lagging behind, means there are remote villages without electricity, like that. People have to live with it, deal with it, like that. And with my education alone, okay, they started to provide electricity. Meaning, after 70 years or after 50 years, they got first time to see the light in their remote villages. So these are the small, it's still in the long way to go, but I provided the rightful pathway. Can you see? I just provided a direction, and I knew who can do those tasks. That is important for the leader, right? A leader should know who to assign a task, and the leader will easily identify, okay, give this task to this, and it will be done, like that. So that means that's all that comes out of a process. It comes out of practice and healthy processing only. it will not come in one day. It's not easy, right? Because we are all are humans, and there is a two errors human. That can be misjudgment here and there. There are errors, human errors like that. But beyond that, I'm talking only about the generic ones. Okay. And this also took 32 minutes. Yeah. But we all need to know, right? So, okay. So then I educated on that, and still people are working on it, right? And you all know how McDonald's and Walmart and so why Walmart lagged behind on the retail part is it was Amazon same frequency wavelength, right? It took it. My wisdom education, whoever listened to my education, they got it. Like Facebook, Google, Apple, Microsoft, they all got it. We are all in the same page mode. Versus the Walmart, it's the purest form of Republica. Even the other software was also Republica only. There's no doubt about it. But maybe there will be some democratism also. But this Walmart means it's the purest form of Republica. And I already said, the Republica never knows there are people with the colored skin like that. Right? So they just missed out. They missed it out. So behind the scenes, they never seen maybe because, I'm a colored skin like that. But then my wisdom is the highest way, highest mode. So they took that wisdom beyond my colored skin mode, beyond the gender mode, they took it. And that is why even Walmart and Target, they're all working towards having their own emergency clinics. And I only educated if they could provide that, that'll be great, because when people are visiting United States of America, they can just go walk into the Walgreens. They just can walk in to the Walmart, like a regular grocery store, right? And pay a affordable pricing for an eye checkup or some boils on their eyes or something like that. For very emergency purposes, they can still go to the Walmart. Either they can get a free medical or very affordable pricing within $5 or $10, and that will be easy for people to handle it, and they do not even have to wait for a long time in the hospital, and they do not even have to check for whether the insurance will cover or like that. So those are all the $1 trillion of processing, right? Still being worked on. Those are only in the baby steps mode, but if at all the wisest people, then there would be those things on place already. Right? Because I was only asking them to do the task fastest way possible. So that means Walmart missed the bus. Got it? They ignored my education. Versus Amazon was in the bus, and first thing he ran to India. Because once when I was educating what is India, it's always that parental-child bonding mode. Right? People will love to see what is India. Oh, is that so? Oh, wow, we want to see India like that more. And if you all see, in the memory lane, during that time period alone, right from President Obama, Michelle Obama, and Hillary Clinton, and President Trump's wife, right? Everybody visited India because of my education. Because once when I educate the truth, people love to want to know, want to see it. It's like almost like a mom-child bonding mode. It's a sentimental mode. It's more of an emotional bonding, right? So that is why everybody started to run to India, okay? And so this civil justice, when I'm going to read, you all will get it, right? You all will get it. So I was just wondering why all these things are happening when I was educating. Okay, then this is one part. And then I educated, all these automobiles been transferred to the Tamil Nadu, and they are providing a waste, all the waste from the automobile industry and throwing it on the river and polluting it, and without paying tax. I know you're all laughing, isn't it? USA got flat. USA was shocked. Oh my God, what is this lady always saying about wisdom? They were never getting annoyed about my wisdom, versus they were happiest about it. Okay, and that's when the Japan quickly ran from Japan to India to create all the metro railway stations, right? So I educated, oh, I wish, because I have traveled through the Indian old railway system, right? That was created during the British people. If you go even to the Europe nations, they live out of railways. It's a wonderful experience. People, I like to travel in railways, but it goes by case basis. But here they never bothered to create that kind of a railway system. I would even suggest it. When I was interacting with the justice teams, it would be great if they could provide healthy railway systems. It's fun, right? People will love it. Don't you all think so? It's excellent public services, and people don't even have to worry about whether they have to spend on gas or like that, gasoline or like that. They can get a monthly pass, right? It's all unhealthy. Then healthy jobs will be created, right? Don't you all think so? Then people can go on time to their workplace, right in front of their workplace if the train stops, or just walk from there. Means it's an excellent processing they can provide. But sadly, the United States of American nation, they did not want to go that route. So that's a scandal after all, because they want the population to start using only the vehicles, so then they get the revenue out of it. The more gasoline is spent, then the population gets to pay more tax. So it's just a scandal. So when I'm going to start to lead the USA government, it'll all be different. It'll be even mode after all. So yeah, so I was just, when I was educating, again USA lagged on that. Okay, USA ignored it. And then versus the Japan, it ran literally running fastest and robo mode, ran to India and provided a contract and provided metro railways, the fastest train rails, right? That the bullet trains we all see in the movies like that. And it was my dream, because I am from India, my hometown Tamil Nadu, and I would love to see Tamil Nadu and India all developed and all helping my population. And with my education, see, I never went and back and asked India, are you doing your task? Japan, are you helping out India? No, that was never my job, right? For me, from my end, only educating as a teacher. And these people were students. So like friends, like Japan and India, friends mode. Okay, hi buddy, let me help you out here, like that mode. Japan helped out, because Japan, China, they're all in that robo mode, right? So they ran to India and they started to help India. And 1.3 billions of population never knew. It is only because of me the India got all the railways upgraded mode. So, but that's how it should be, isn't it? I wanted to work behind the scenes mode. So that means even in the audience, whoever is listening to my testimony, they'll be shedding tears of joy. So let's say if it's going to be my friends or my extended family from India, they'll be shedding tears of joy, right? Because that's how it should be, without seeing me, without knowing me, right? So there are 1.3 billions of humans, not one. But here in USA, how many million? Only 300 millions. So that means USA could have provided healthy funding, budgeting for excellent railway system, state to state, county to county, city to city, excellent business, excellent bus facilities. How much healthy jobs could have been created, right? Don't you think so? And how much of transportation can be in an evolution process, right? And how many households could have saved by not driving the vehicle? The vehicle age also could have been extended, right? They can use it for a long drive, vacation, like that. family trip, everybody. I don't know about my peers. I just love to sit on the car and just go for a long drive, enjoying the scenic views, eating. I'm a foodie, right? Eating snacks, or sometimes I even sleep, or So I love long drives. I just love it. So, but then it's not always the case, right? So when this public transportation is used as a day-to-day basis, it gives a lot of more revenue for the nation in a healthy processing. But sadly, USA, though they are having Harvard Business Law School, right? They miss that important education about how, why a nation should have healthy railways, public transport. If you're going to see, go and see all the European nations. They walk, they run, they walk and run, and they go to the workplace. Means that itself is an exercise for them. Don't you think so? Here, we are being more enforced to be lazy, right? Just sit on the van or a car, then sitting, then go to the workplace, sitting, eat, then come back. Means then they have to figure out a way to do the exercise. But then back in India, in Asia, in Europe nations, their day-to-day chores itself will be exercise. They do not have to figure out what exercise they have to do, right? So then, can you all see why that healthy operations of railway services also never provided by USA? It's all because of the Pope Francis scam, after all, right? Can you all see? So I was educating, and now today, if you go to India, they have fastest railways, and I'm happy about it. Because for me, okay, my blood drops are getting to enjoy that healthy public transport, but it's still in the baby steps. Long way to go. Means the pricing, the pass, and all must be reformed, correct? It must be provided free for the people like that. If they're going to provide a costly tickets, then that's not I want. I will tear India in pieces no matter what, right? So they know, India fears me only because I will only tear down India, right? So these are the little bit of accomplishment. And then when India never knew what they're going to do about the public welfare processing, right? I said, hey, it's okay. It's never too late. 70 years passed. India is a developing nation, worldwide mocking. That's okay. Take a deep breath. Okay? Now, just go do the task I'm asking to do. Create a team. Create a set of team. State by state, region by region. Create a team. Okay? And come up with welfare services processing, a card, like a social security card, like that. Even if it is errored, it's okay, because we all know that India is lagging behind. It's a developing nation, but it's still a baby step. I will guide how a mom helps a toddler to walk on the road. I will guide. But do the task, whatever I'm asking to do. It's okay if it is errored out, or if it is whatever it is, just do it in the fastest way possible. That is all I said for wisdom education. And I also provided a customized, this is how it should be. Okay? You're going to create that, but create it this way. It should be like this. I provided step by step and customization. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. This is how it should be. I'd never used big tool. I used what tool? I used Facebook posting tool as a whiteboard, as a blackboard. As a teacher, I was using it. So you got it, right? For an excellent teacher, any tool can be an excellent tool to reach out to the population. That's all. Now imagine with that simple, that this is all I provided, nothing more, nothing less. I said, even if it is errored out, okay, do whatever, break your heads, just come up with this design. This is a sample I can provide, this is a template I can provide, use it. Now, I added one more on that task. Hey nations, this template, where whatever I'm providing to India, Africa, can you hear me? Use this template. China, Japan, can you hear me? Use this template. Means I was just giving those tasks for all continents. This is how I was running the nations. And I have to provide it, right? I want to provide the accomplishment, what I was doing. So I don't know whether all the other nations were working towards the goal, but absolutely I'm positive they should have been, right? But then I am aware that India listened to me and quickly, fastest way possible means the Department of Welfare Services in the United States of America started in 1935. They never bothered to help any of the population, right? Can you get it? How they were lagging behind because of this, all this crap that is going on? That is the reason. There's no other reason. But then, imagine 70 years, and 70 years passed by since 1947 only India got the independence. Namesake independence, let it put it that way. But then 70 years of slavery, developing nation, there are more villages without even electricity. Can you imagine, my dear fellow mankind? There are still villages without any electricity, and people have to live with it, deal with it. So that's why I'm saying it's still only in the baby step process, long way to go. But I have to step in and I have to provide that guidance at least. Okay? Yeah, I own India, right? It's it's mine. And I know how to design India my way, right? And it's happening. Whatever I want the India to be, the envision, the roadmap, it's all happening. Whatever I am educating, it's happening now. Right? So they came up with the quickest mode of that card. And I was so surprised how fast they can do it. And then I educated. See, all the nations needs is what? Healthy guidance, right? I directed and I educated them what needs to be done. That's an excellent leadership quality, isn't it? I only sat, I patiently educated, this is what needs to be done. And do it this way. This is how I want the card to look. And you can provide whatever name you want, and now it is called as an Aadhar card. Aadhar translates in English as comforter. It's a Christian word, isn't it? Wonderful comforter is what? Comforter means what? A true friend's love, right? That's what it means. So they came up, those teams, they came up with that name. So I never even suggested they have to put that name, but they just came up with that name, that's all. All I provided was a very basic foundation, and I educated. See, all nations, can you see? This is how a civilian have to step in and educate and guide a nation in a rightful way. So even USA was lagging behind, right, in welfare providing services. They got slapped on their faces, isn't it? It's almost like a ego and shame mode. Was because a developing nation transitioned into a developed nation fastest in 3-5 years mode with my education mode, and worldwide all nations running to India and providing the help means how much of labor of task I provided with my wisdom education. I did nothing. I never went back and asked Google, did you create affordable laptops and provided in India for the children? No, I never asked that. I never went back and asked by Microsoft, were you able to provide all the remote educational computer side education to the remote villages in India? No, I never asked that. I never asked Apple either. I never asked Facebook. I never asked Amazon. But they all ran to India and they did their task. They did their job. Then they are still doing their job. That is how a leadership should be, right? Nobody should watch to be back. Nobody needs to be watching at back of each other, whether they are doing the task or not. It's their, they have to take their own responsibility and they just start doing it. That's how the team effort. It's almost like, when a chef is wanting to cook, some people will lend a helping hand cutting the vegetables. Some people will lend a hand in mixing or grinding. So it is just like that, that's all. And finally, everybody gets to enjoy that live product, how it's in a fruition mode, envision mode, like that. So that time, I was literally, tough. Right? So that means India must have been cursed me, or out of nowhere, why on this earth this lady is asking India to immediately create a welfare card? They must be just accusing me, right? Because I was so toughest, meaning just do it. Just do the task, do not ask me any question. Just do it. And I want it immediately, means just do it and get it done. Do not give me any excuse. It's okay. If that is error, that's okay. Means today, this moment, it is Indian government and India will be shedding tears of joy when they are listening to the live testimony when I'm providing. Right? They will be wanting me only to be their leader. They want only me to be their supreme judge. Right? They want me only to be their policy creator. Right? Because they'll be shedding tears of joy. Because it's a lot of labor I provided just by wisdom education only. Only thing is they never knew it's me. Now they will know it is me. Because I'm in the TV channel, isn't it? When I was educating in the Facebook, it's only silent mode. Right now I'm talking. Can you get it? Yes, I'm still behind the scenes only. But they get it. They will be shedding tears of joy. And for that solutions which I provided, it is India must pay me a lot of salary after all. Got it? It's not easy, right? How many educated humans were there even before me? Microsoft was there, right? And Apple was there. Google was there. Even Facebook was there, right? Okay, just leave these people. These are software people. They concentrate on their software products, okay? There were Harvard Law School, Harvard Medical School, doctors, theologians, right? Nobody stood up and provided the help which I provided. I just provided the lifelong, it's an history I created. Imagine from developing nation to the developed nation. It's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot. You all know there are remote villages wherein they do not have toilet facilities. They have to go poop or pee in the ground, in the stinking mode. They have to live with it, deal with it. And I educated. That's not how it should be, right? Because I know they are all my blood drops, isn't it? So one side it is too much of emotional for me, and for other side I just want to be tough, right? At the cost of being hated, I have to be tough and provide that discipline my way. And I took the cane in my hand. That's all I did. Japan, France, you name it, all ran to India. The only two people who never bothered to get into India is a telltale sign. It was Pope Francis and Syria leader. Even the United Arab Emirates leader ran to India. I took the cane in my hand. Right? Because 1.3 billions of humans in India, my blood, mine, they all belong to me. Right? I just could not tolerate it. When I could not tolerate that, you all get it, right? How I could tolerate this COVID-19 scam. They will get it. You all got it, right? You all got it. I am absolutely positive when I'm talking this. each and every single Tamil, be it in software world, be it in manufacturing world, white, displaced, must be shedding tears as well. It's that hometown, same town kind of emotional, right? Sentiments. We are all humans, right? You're all humans. So there needs to be that guidance, the directions, that's all is needed. I guided India in the rightful way. Still a long way to go. Still a long way to go. But I only can discipline India my way. And they fear me only, nobody else. That's the reason. You all keep working, who am I? I will reveal it down the road. I will reveal it. And yes, my dear fellow mankind, today, if at all the 1.3 billions of India are watching my live testimony or knew it is me, they'll be just shedding tears of joy. Right? And absolutely positive, the people known to me will be happiest as well. Oh yeah, oh is that the, oh my gosh, like that. For me, I'm far off, right? I'm far off. It's all sentimental and emotional one side, and I have to be toughest the way I am at the cost of being hated, right? But it's giving me the happiest feeling that with my education worldwide, how a nation leaders can listen to me and provide that rightful help, right? Imagine it's only Japan. Wow, what is the need for them, right? So if you're going to see from Japan to Korea, right, to China, they all ran to India and started to help. And it's still in that helping process, only long way to go, because it's 1.3 billion. It's the second largest populated nation and continent, nation in the earth. First is China, second is India, right? Now tell me, I proved my excellence leadership, isn't it? Versus President Joe Biden is still learning what is Oval Office, how to wear the mask, how to fool the people. He's working on that only. You all know why President Trump ran and started to build President Trump Tower in India, right? You all got it. You all know why Amazon literally ran fastest possible to India. And he has facilities in India right now. He's owning facilities in India. I just took cane in my hand, that's all, as a teacher. They all became my students, isn't it? And students means within the students, they'll talk like, hey buddy, come, hey friends, let's help each other out. Like that, they started to help. And it's the same way for Facebook too. Facebook owns land in India. Now tell me how I was able to do that. People had only one question: how on the earth she can do it? How on the earth she cracked down all the puzzles? How? I said, it's God-given wisdom, my dear fellow mankind. I'm just average human. I have a dummy brain like you all. So that it's a proof that how God only gives wisdom to everybody. Everything needed a guidance, right? India missed it out. Nobody stepped in and nobody wanted to guide India the rightful way. Rather, European nations were sucking the hard labor from the population of India and then never even bothered to help India. I educated that. I slapped on the face of Germany. Today, the buses there in India, in Tamil Nadu, Germany, the Benz, right? I'm happiest. So you all got it, right? The Germans means what? They are the white skin. They do not like colored skin. So that means they should not be in India. right? But they listened to me. They got it. They got the truth. I was talking to them. They were shivering of the truth. They got freaked out about the truth. They know I am the true owner of USA. It is the Germans who's aware that I am the true owner of USA. I am America. I am Erica. America, right? America. If you split out AM is am, I am. And in space ERICA means what? Erica. Eric or Erica is a very common name among the Germans, among the United States of Americans, right? And it is because of what? That traces to what? The Germans knows whoever is the true owner of USA will stand up and get the justice. And that will be Erica. And that is I am. And you all got it, right? It's $1 trillion of... So people who are riding on the Benz bus, public transport bus in Tamil Nadu or in India, they'll be driving on that. For me, I'm happiest about that because they are all my blood drops, right? Because I have been in India, I don't know about here. In India, the daily commuting population uses public transport as bus or railways. So I have traveled in the bus. And it's never very, it's always crowded. You all have to ask the Tamilians about the old days of the bus, how they used to travel. Though it's fun in its own ways, it's never fun always. I would put it that way. Because the crowd, and there used to be ladies only bus, like that. It has its own pros and cons, but I'm talking about. But today, when there is a Benz owned buses that's riding on the roads and people are traveling on that, I want it that way, right? I want my bread drops, my population, right, of India to be that way. It is happiest moment for me. It's an accomplishment, isn't it? So that it's a proof that it's never about the skin color. It's about the work ethics, rock solid work ethics. Rock solid work ethics. So now tell me, okay, I educated all the automobiles they are in Tamil Nadu only right now, the manufacturing units. Be it Kia, be it Ford, be it Benz, be it Volkswagens, be it Chrysler, be it GM, whatever. That is what Mitt Romney did, and he shut down Detroit, made it bankrupt, and he coolly is enjoying his life in Utah. He's a Mormon. I know you're all laughing. We humans think alike, right? There is another word for him. No. It's just the way it is. It's a Mormon means I want to convey that Mormon is an Islam, Judaism, and it's a paganism after all. It's never a Christianity. It's another scandal in its own ways. That's all. Created by Pope Francis after all. They all have that Christian words in the Mormons. Tabernacle, land, holy land, right? Like that. But it's all a scam. And you're seeing it. It's Mitt Romney will be shedding tears of shame right now. Why? Because the population of Detroit, they all lost their job, isn't it? The manufacturing units were closed, shut down. I think even the Ford or whatever automobile industry in Janesville also got shut down, right? The people got mad. When they want to do these kind of but people in Tamil Nadu, they thought they are getting the job. That's how these people are so cunning. These Republicans are so cunning. They create as if they're going to do something good for the nations. No. And I stood up and explained that scam. See, all these toxins from the automobile industry in Tamil Nadu is directly thrown on the river. It is abuse. And please, Tamil Nadu, please ask Japan, USA, Germany, Korea to pay the tax. See, when a nation is disciplined that way, then they get slapped, isn't it? Whenever there is a discipline, there is a fear out of clean love, right? Now, the fear should never be created from controlling. No, that is never a process at all. That's never a good leadership. When China says you cannot deliver a baby, you have to pay the fine. That is a fear created out of controlling. That's a wrongful way of treating fellow mankind, right? People should know their responsibility. Then I educated India, go. Work on guidelines for providing the waste toxins to be provided. Create a guidelines. Provide that guidelines to the Ford. Provide that guidelines to the Benz. Make sure that there is a preventative for air pollution. Because in the name of automobile industry, let them not pollute the Tamil Nadu. Make sure about that. I was cracking down one by one. What is the last one I did? You all know copper, the metal copper. It is Queen of Elizabeth II, the stock exchange, the Italy Borsa. So can you see how God only guided me in everything to crack down? She is super evil, my dear fellow mankind. The copper metal from India, we took it and all for tax process, and Indian population, India was not helped in the rightful way. It was trashed. Got it? Queen Elizabeth was taking all the resources from India and she was just only trashing India like a garbage after garbage and garbage. What did I do? One side I slapped on the face of Queen Elizabeth II, right? Because I know I'm the owner of all nations, right? I just slapped on the face. I decoded the crime that was going in that copper trade, import, export processing. They sealed and shut it down in India. What more do you all need to have for a proof that I provide excellent governance? I never went back to India and checked on them whether they shut down that copper. It's still, the case is still going on. But you all should know how I provide the governance in my way. Hewlett-Packard, you all know, right? That one part of the scam. But then, do you all know, in India, 100% of the software are from India? Do you all know that? Do you all know how those software people in India are treated, in Tamil Nadu are treated? A trash. Facebook treats people from Tamil Nadu trash. Google, Apple, Microsoft, these are all the software giants, isn't it? When these fix their whatever abuse of power they're doing, all the other software layers will do it, will fix their errors. I stood up and educated. See, because of the time zone difference, how they treat the Tamils of India as pure slaves. Means, here people will be working only 8 hours, or even they will shut down their computer by 5, right? 8 to 5 job. There, those innocent Tamils, my blood drops in the software world, mandated to work more than 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours. And because of that, family bonding gone, family emotional detachment and divorce, or what not. Premarital sex, extramarital sex, workforce sex. Don't y'all think me handcuffing United States of America and mandating to kneel down before Tamil Nadu is a rightful civil justice? I get it my way, stylish way. Right? You all got it, how my style is, right? Now tell me, what is President Joe Biden going to say about that? He's a lawyer. Can you see all along I'm displaying only President Trump is innocent? He listened to me. See, both President Obama also listened to my admin, listened to my education, and you all got it, right? How Hillary Clinton, John Kerry, they all worked as a team, and with my education, they were able to crack down the Iraq border part of it. They solved it. Similarly, President Trump, when I educated about the hourly wages part of it, the salary part of it, please provide affordable salary part of it. It is he, a white-skinned Republican president. Listen to me, the colored-skinned women gender, right? I also said I'm a Democrat. Versus a Republican blood cell hates Democrat word, isn't it? But he still listened to me because it's wisdom is wisdom always, no matter what, right? I already said how many work visas population from India or from Asia or whatever, even from Canada or Europe, they were in USA. They started to see the salary increase in there. They never knew it is because of me, and I never told them, right? There are people known to me who are in that situation, but they used to see whatever President Trump did, he did one thing good. He increased the salary for these people who are working visa. That helped a lot. I used to smile in my, silently and pass by. Because when public services is provided without knowing, that is a good thing. Because once when people knows, then it will become a prejudiced mode, right? People will talk to me in more prejudiced and stereotyping way. I do not like that. I already said that. So that means, for an example, a live example. My parents, my relatives, they're all there. Friends, extended people are there. The loved ones are there in India, right? They used to say, see, there is a fast train that came in India. Oh, really? Then I used to ask, like, as if I never knew anything about that. I was, oh, really? Oh, then, like that I used to ask. This is me, right? So then my parents are, see, now we have that Aadhaar card. Oh, really? Then, like that I used to talk to them. So then, down the road, I think I even communicated that, but then, my family, my relatives, they are not in the position to understand clearly. So I just left it as is. And I do not want to create any stereotyping, prejudice mode. But they know very recently only they know. When I had to talk to them and I had to converse to them, I just said, but they are not in a position to listen. They cannot understand. So I just left it. That's a generation gap, right? My parents are retired and my mom is a cancer survivor. By God's grace, she's living. So that's just that. So can you get it? It's an emotional feeling, right? When the nation is creating a welfare card for the first time after 70 years, and my fellow mankind are also getting helped, right? My relatives, my extended family, known people. It's a wonderful feeling that needs to be experienced, right? So this is all my testimony, and yes, my dear fellow mankind, I thought I wanted it to make it short, but it came to 1 hour and 16 minutes. Yes, it is about the nations. So you all got it, right? Well, how about, let me try if I could sing the Indian national flag anthem. It's been a long time, so let's see if I could sing it. Okay. Okay, let me try, okay? जनगण मन गदिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उच्चल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि रंगा तव शुभ नामे जाहे तब शुभ आशीष माहे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगल नायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय हे. Translation of the Indian national anthem in English. Okay. Thou art the ruler of the minds of all people, dispenser of India's destiny. Thy name rouses the hearts of Punjab, Sindh, Gujarat and Maratha, of the Dravida and Orissa and Bengal. It echoes in the hills of Vindhyas and Himalayas, mingles in the music of Jamuna and Ganga, and is chanted by the waves of the Indian Sea. They pray for thy blessings and sing thy praise. Thy savings of all the people waits in thy hand. Thou dispenser of India's destiny, victory, 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 victory to thee. In India, there is a pledge also, okay? It goes like this. India is my country. All Indians are my brothers and sisters. I love my country and I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. I shall strive to be worthy of it. I shall respect my parents, teacher, and all elders and treat everyone with courtesy. To my country all my people, I pledge my devotion. In their well-being and prosperity alone lies my happiness. Jai Hind. And I will also, there is a Tamil song, patriotic song, okay? I will see if I could sing it in the rightful tune. It's been a long time, okay? தாயின் மணி கொடி பாரீர் அதை தாழ்ந்து பணிந்து புகழ்ந்திடவாரீர் தாயின் மணி கொடி பாரீர் ஓங்கி வளர்ந்ததோர் கம்பம் அதன் உச்சியின் மேல் வந்தே மாதரம் என்றே வாங்கின் எழுதி திகழும் செய்ய பட்டொலி வீசி பறந்தது பாரீர் தாயின் மணி கொடி பாரீர் அதை தாழ்ந்து பணிந்து புகழ்ந்திடவாரீர் தாயின் மணி கொடி பாரீர். Now this song, it translates that come, adore, admire and wish, salute the motherland, the flag, the national flag. See how it is flying with the freedom. Enjoy it. And this is what it is this only one paragraph I'm singing because I want to, keep it short. So yes, so this session is all about the nations. So that's why I have to provide all this, testimony, isn't it? So yes, now imagine 1.3 billions of humans in one nation and 300 millions of humans only in United States of America. And you all got it, right? I was providing only unbiased love for all nations, right? That means it was a template. When I was providing and help for one nation, it was same for all the nations. Okay, that goes without saying. So what was another nation who took my wisdom? They realized their mistake. It is the United States of America. They realized. They shed tears of shame. 500 years passed, right? And 1935, they started the welfare program. They never provided all this stuff, right? So after 500 years, so 1935 means what? 65 years? After 65 years, only I provided with my solutions, they provided electronic EBT, electronic benefits card. If you go and see on all the white skin or the black skin or whatever color skin, the population who are using the welfare services, they know about that card. It is only because of my education, my dear fellow mankind. I was happy, meaning 300 millions of population in United States of America, in 50 states, not in one state, in 50 states, they never knew it is only me, it is because of me that electronic benefits card, the debit card, is created. Can you all see how India and USA was just listening to me, and it's my understanding all the other nations took at my education. But even in that entire thing, I was just sensing it. I was able to feel it that Africa was not helped at all. And I said, oh, don't worry, Africa, I'm there for you. But when, I never knew Africa belonged to me. I never knew USA is my nation, right? Can you all see? Without knowing only I provided all this help. So you all should know, only after I finished working on this poverty-free task only, I decoded USA is Tamil Nadu. So that is the cleanest love. You all should not know that, oh, only after knowing USA is Tamil Nadu, then you provided this help, oh, that everyone can do. No. Without knowing, I never knew Africa is mine. I never knew South America is mine. I never knew Canada is mine, right? Now, can you see what is the importance of the true love without knowing anything? Only I provided all the clean love. And that is why God made me to work on this project after all. Because a cleanest hearted person only can provide that love, that type of a love. So what more of the key things you all need to know? Nation by nation, region by region, I provided all the where poverty, exactly poverty, so worldwide knew. So that means I provided the scandal of how people were drinking the resources of Africa and thus trashing Africa in ashes. And I took the cane in my hand. I took the cane in my hand and I did what? Do you all know what I did? World Health Organization started to puke blood in pus. And Center for Disease Control, they started to puke and they just passed out and fainted because I was displaying this crime, the deadliest crime provided to the African nation. Without knowing Africa is mine, only I was providing that help. You all should know why that love is cleanest love. Right? I handcuffed them. Monsanto, I handcuffed Monsanto. Bayers, I handcuffed Bayers. Nobody knew that scandal that was going on for long. It's been forever, right? I cracked down the crime. I said Germany just like that went and sat in the South Africa because it's a land of minerals, land of chemicals, land of herbs. Sat there just like that. And thrashed my blood. Even Germans are my blood, but can you see it's almost like a siblings more. But they were not seeing Africans as siblings. They thrashed them. Right? Rhodesia is in South Africa, around that location, probably here and there. Hit or miss. One dot is enough for me to figure out what the scandal is, isn't it? So that means I'm an excellent detective. Right? Beyond the car part. Out of 54 nations in the African continent, the Germany created bayers only in the South Africa. I cracked and nailed down on the crime just like that. Germany was shocked. And I took the cane in my hand. Right? Each and every single, you all eat chocolates, isn't it? I said a little story about that, but I have to, even if it's getting, little more session, you all need to know my development. And these are all, will help USA government to remember, oh, is that the lady? Oh my gosh, like that. They will remember me now. I went nation by nation, region by region, isn't it? I displayed 80% of the cocoa coming from Africa. And then India is another nation too. Chocolate, coffee, tea, Lipton tea. Have you heard about Lipton? Oh yeah, right? It's almost like everybody's household name, Lipton. I educated. And I took the cane in my hand. I just could not tolerate what they did to the Africa, because people were eating chocolates after chocolates after chocolates after chocolates, right? You all see Swiss chocolates. Sounds, the sound of the Swiss. Oh, how beautiful, isn't it? Swiss chocolates. And how about Belgium? Belgium chocolates. Wow, Belgium chocolates. That sound of the chocolate from Belgium, oh my gosh, it's so whatever. Right? And you all must have even the Nutella, the spread, the chocolate spread on the bread. Oh, how tasty. And then Ferrero Rocher chocolate, the Lindt chocolate. Right? Godiva, Giraldi, Hershey's chocolate, Hershey's Kisses. Oh, how that sound, so good, the kisses, along with the chocolate, like that. Isn't it? I know you all are laughing about that. Whatever. And then, this is one part of the cocoa abuse, right? What more I displayed about the crime of the cocoa abuse? These people, the Europeans, they wanted chocolate, they want to swim in chocolate, they want to bathe in chocolate, they want to sleep in chocolate. Too much of chocolate fanatic crowd, right? The restaurants created chocolate restaurants, meaning people can go and swim and be whatever it's chocolate. Worldwide, in European nations, right? Luxury, out of filth, out of abuse, right? Then these white-skinned European Americans are very God, right? They are pure God. They all jumped from heaven. So they just want to add some more extra chocolate in their alcohol as well. Right? Chocolate alcohol. At the cost of what? And I displayed this one side. This is a raw truth, right? People got slapped on their face, right? Ferrero Rocher is an Italy chocolate, and the chocolate, the real thing, comes from Tamil Nadu. I traced everything, mind. I already said what? I have the count of cotton plant. I have the count of cocoa plant. I have the count of rice plant. I have a count of coffee plant. Let agriculture go crazy, isn't it? They were fooling the population. I just could not tolerate it. And that moment, it was around the 2014, 15, 16 mood, right? I never knew Africa is my nation, right? But even beyond that, I was only providing cleanest love. Without knowing Africa as my nation, only I was providing cleanest love. That is what I want to convey now. Why the true love, clean love is always must be provided without knowing anything. See, if I knew that Africa is my nation, then providing the help, then that's also help only. But that is different processing. But without knowing anything and helping means then that is excellent, isn't it? I never knew USA is Tamil Nadu. I never knew I'm the true owner of USA. And I was helping USA. You all got it, right? How the GMO project was provided by me. How the electronic benefits card was provided by me. And today, this moment, if you're going to grocery, you will see fair trade, ethically created chocolate bars, Lily and all that stuff, the brands, right? How I helped one side farmers, how I helped one side agriculture to be reformed, how I helped United States to provide the fair trade guidelines. They worked on it. President Obama administration worked on it. They guided the USDA and FDA. When he was providing that task, President Trump, I think, he merged the USDA organization and FDA organization as one organization because of my wisdom education only. Right? I took the cane in my hand. I took the cane in my hand. I educated, I love chocolates. But when I was analyzing and working, right, I just could not take it. Because I was just working on the homework of how the cocoa bean created. Because I was just educating on the basic line, because people should know how they are able to eat one chocolate bar in their household, right? So how a chocolate is being created in Hershey's, how a chocolate is being created here, how a chocolate is being created in Cadbury's, like that. And my breath started to boil, right? Innocent African, my fellow mankind, my blood drops. Without wearing footwear, without wearing preventative clothing for agriculture. They have been mandated to work on those plantations as a slaves. Child labor. And I at one point I even stopped eating the chocolate, even though I love chocolate, I started eating. Right? It happens. And then, when I slapped, I took the cane in my hand and I disciplined. I never ran and asked friends, Belgium, hey Belgium, hey Swiss, hey Spain, a London, a Germany, everybody getting chocolate from Africa. By trashing Africa, they were eating chocolate, including Pope. I already said, right? Somalia and Sudan is just few blocks away from St. Peter's Basilica. Now tell me, what would you all have done being a Pope? And few blocks alone, there's a Somalia and Sudan who's providing cocoa to Vatican, and you're Pope in that Vatican. What would you all have done? When I was educating, I educated how shameless can Pope Francis can be. He was blacklisted that time, 2014, 15 and all, he was only blacklisted. I was not able to figure out whether he's a true criminal, right? Because our Christian population will not even think, the brain will not even work on that drug, right? Whatever denomination Christians are, it all came from that Pope, that Roman Empire thing only. So brain will not even think. But then, when seeing the live crimes, what will a brain think? You tell me. So I just blacklisted. Okay, let it be blacklisted. Let me figure out, if I'm going to figure out that proof. That is all I wanted. Then I can nail him on his forehead. I can just chop his head, right? So one side emotions that Africans, my fellow mankind, without knowing they are my blood drops. But beyond without knowing my blood drops, everybody is my fellow mankind, right? I am extra empath. I just could not tolerate it. And one point of time I stopped eating chocolate. People were just mocking at me, you know. Because they all know, the people know me knows I love chocolate, and I stopped eating chocolate. That's a lot of thing for me, right? My peers can laugh at me, mock at me. Oh, it's not a big a deal, like that. So there again, with that action, I explained, I educated. Yes, people restrain certain things, if at all, even if they like it, they just restrain for healthy process, right? It happens all the time, all the way. For me, it was chocolate. For some people, it might be different things. They might be a meat-eating people, and altogether they might become a vegan. They might be a vegan, and they all might become meat eaters all of a sudden. It happens all the time. Goes by case, that's all. So I took the cane. I did not provide caning on the Center for Disease Control or World Health Organizations or Bayer's or Monsanto or France. No. I said, hey, Europe nations, can you hear me? Now is the time. Timer started now. Go. You pick and choose. Just go, adapt. Foster a nation of Africa and build it the way it is in Europe. Do whatever you want. Stand upside down, roll down the ground. Do it. Do the task my way. This is exactly what I said. And when Facebook, all the people will, oh yes, this is that lady, it's confirmed. Right? Because there in Facebook I was educating in silent, right? Because I've been only posting. Even in that mode, people got freaked out, because freaked out in the sense they were sensing that something, it's never a revolution, it's a God's Holy Spirit taking control over the world, and something is good is happening with all these things. But right now, this moment, I'm talking, right? People are getting the live testimony. And those are all the keywords. And people will realize, oh yes. Center of Disease Control and World Health Organization and United Nations organizations and World Bank. You all got it now why those leaders got resigned, right? It is because I displayed this camp to them. What more I wanted to add on? It's taking a lot of time, but it's okay. What more I added, what more I displayed. China must be laughing. Yeah. You all know how people were abusing Africa nation because of the richness. I will say you all going to puke one by one. Okay, puke 1, puke 2, puke 3, like that. It's okay. We are all in the healing process. We are all working as a team. It's a very important, crucial crime. We need to fix it, right? It was around the 2014, spring 2014, between 2014, spring 2014, spring 2016 itself, I cracked down. Oh, okay. Pope Francis is a poverty creator. That took that much here for me, that much time for me to analyze and confirm it. But right before Pope only created poverty, I cracked that it's only the doctors who are creating the poverty, which is true. And Dr. Fauci and Dr. Prince proved that. That's a proof here in 2021. So, what did I do? I'll explain. They have wild safaris. You all know elephants, right? Even India, even in Tamil Nadu, they are all, it's a land of elephants, land of wild animals where people, But then here, the China was using the tusk, right? The TUSK, that elephant trunk has the 2 tusk, the white thing. It is very costly because they can make lot of art out of it. And Chinese people, they are good at that too, right? So they use that in an illegal way, smuggling. And they were creating arts out of that and selling it for so many dollars. This is their talent. Their talent is they can carve everything. Even Tamil Nadu, Tamil people are super talented, right? So, but then here what they were doing is crime. They were just eating Africa raw. And I displayed how cunning China can be. First time in entire life cycle of China got slapped on the face in front of all nations. It's a super shame, isn't it? For how long it's been in the trading industry? For long. It's one of the cunning nation in entire earth, other than France. China destroyed India in pieces. It's going to pay the price for that. I said, for me, you all know, right? I talk less, but once when I talk and I know my people, I am the absolute protector. Means people should just kill me first to even think about getting to my people. But China destroyed India. It's going to pay the price, right? So that is separate part. Just to destroy the trading process of India alone, it created Great Wall of China using Tamils as its slaves. It's going to pay the price. China going to pay the price. Islam leaders going to pay the price. Watch and see, my dear fellow mankind. Watch and see. So here, I displayed that. It got slapped. And it was not even shame, right? It is crime. Crime means what? One, they're smuggling those animals. They're killing elephants to take the tusks. And they should have provided a healthy, fair trade processing, right? And that would have created healthy jobs for Africans, isn't it? How many farmers or how many that neighborhood, the community would have gained out of that healthy trading processing. I provided that. Why China failed on that? It got slapped. And I think it's my understanding they immediately got panicked, freaked out more with me. Oh, this lady is supervisor. Oh my gosh, like that. I think they banned immediately or they did some another show or whatever. throwing out all the tusk and we will not do this kind of stuff anymore like that. But I don't know whether there is a healthy processing provided. Today, I am having cane in my hand, right? I will not provide caning to the China. No. You all know my civil justice process. See, you're knowing only now. The people who worked with me in that volunteer project, they know about my civil justice. It's all about the dollars payment. President Obama, from President Obama to everybody, they laugh out about my civil justice process only. Oh, that lady, yeah, we can relate. That justice will be perfect and it will be super fun to watch because dollars. You're seeing it right now and they can relate it. That's another keyword. Okay, I displayed that scam. Then what more I displayed? I took the cane, I handcuffed Russia leader, the Putin, right? The puppet, the prostitute, the slave to Queen Elizabeth II. And I handcuffed again one more time China, the crime 2. Can you see? China crime 1, China crime 2, and Russia 1. This is how the logic goes. This is how software logic goes. That is why software world population are super happiest being that I'm providing the logic in a rightful way. And you all got it, right? This is how the robots also will work. Robots are created by humans only, right? This is how it will work. The logics will work. Okay. What about that Russia and China, you might ask, right? For general civilians of USA, they know they're getting gasoline only from Islam nation. But then Africa has excellent gasoline operations. And one of the main important gasoline operations is owned by Russia and China. Eating, drinking Africa raw by thrashing African people. They all say war. They do not like black skin because they do not look appealing, right? Beyond being called as with the N-word, you all know there's another word they are being called as, right? Monkeys, right? How easiest it is to name call fellow mankind. They are having blood color, so it's red, right? What went wrong in humanity? So I displayed that crime. So when I'm displaying crime after crime after crime, who was puking? That time Pope Francis was coolest because he was only in the blacklist, right? My brain never even thought that he will be the criminal. For me, that itself was a super shock for me when I decoded that truth. It will be a super shock for Christian population as well, right? I already educated. It was a super shock for me when I decoded that truth, that Pope Francis is indeed the true criminal. That was another emotions that I have to handle it, but I have to handle it. At least good that I decoded it more. So Center for Disease Control started to puke. And World Health Organization started to puke because I'm displaying all the crime. And they never even bothered to provide any help, right? The Ebola time, that was an Ebola. That's another keyword. When I say Ebola, that's all is needed. Oh, yeah, that lady. Means with my wisdom education alone, they were able to, United States of America, it was around that Democrat President Obama administration only. People were able to send nurses, doctors, remember? I think there was one doctor and 2 nurses, they also provided their show that how they are free now. They never got the Ebola, but people were dying in Africa like that, Sierra Leone, right? Congo like that. So, this is what it is, my dear fellow mankind. This is what it is. So, I was just educating the wisdom, that's all. So this testimony is all about nations. So by the time I was educating, all nations were shocked. I united all nations. Means I took one hand of each nation and hey, we are all same, my dear fellow mankind. Now hold your hands. Let's work on how to be brothers and sisters of one family. Like that, I started to unite one nation after another nation. Means first time in entire human life when people are busy working on wars and killing each other, right? I was the one who was uniting all the nations. And people were super happiest about that. They had that feeling, oh my gosh, are we all one family? Are we all one blood drops? Oh wow, like that. First time in the human history, I educated that. I broke the world record in that part also. How many times this prostitute, Republica, late Billy Graham would have gone to provide sermon in Africa. I don't know whether he visited India, maybe South America, right? He never bothered to provide that any healthy guidance to the USA government, right? That is a crime. That is a crime. He is a prostitute after all. And President Trump is innocent. How many Christian evangelicals, they do not like the black skin, but they own diamond factories in Africa. Do you all know Africa has any riches, all the riches, and that means there can never be poverty? That gives you a clue, right? That was my analysis. Oh my gosh, with all these riches, how it's just impossible for the population in Africa continent to be poor. So how? Boom, 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 boom. I cracked everything. And Queen Elizabeth II is a source for that. Is she a woman? You all tell me, my dear fellow mankind, is she a woman? Sudan and Somalia, or there are still some more African states, nations, which got a namesake independence very recently. Is she a woman? She has been worshipped as God. Then what more? Wow, this is a very wonderful testimony I have to provide. It's even if it's getting late, it's okay. The crime, right? What more of a crime I display? The energy, right, for electricity. In engineering, they provide that basic, I think even in the school level, but it will be more provided in the engineering classes for basic education. To get an energy, like for us to, I already said, right, for us to switch on a light and have one lamp to light, there needs to be an energy. It's all working out of oxygen only. Okay, now where we can find the energy? So there are different types of energy. So I educated, there is a solar energy, that's a hydro energy, means energy created from water, the oceans. And there is a wind energy created from the air. And there is a heat energy like that. Then I realized that London, right, it created a windmill energy. It's a form of air energy, right? Wind energy. So it created a multi-trillion or multi-year or ever-long, forever energy processing, and for that it provided the windmill. Where? In Atlantic Ocean. So that means all the electric energy source was used to light up the households in London, versus all the households in Africa in 54 nations dark, blocked out, without electricity. So that means it's the same thing like India only. India do not have electricity. Part is even they have the resources, they don't know how to use it, and that needs to be guidance, and that can be. But here, can you see the unisons? no education whatsoever, right? Queen Elizabeth mandated that way. And then she was stealing the rightful electricity that belonged to each African household, and she mandated that electricity to be provided to the London. That's the deadliest crime, isn't it? I displayed that crime. And the Democrat administration, President Obama is also African. So naturally his blood would have been boiling, right? But from me, it's just African. Yeah, my fellow man can like that more. I never knew down the road only I will decode all the truth. But I just displayed the crime as a smooth, raw mode. That is the cleanest law, right? So that moment, Queen Elizabeth II and all is on the blacklist mode only. See, there needs to be some proof to nail on the forehead, right? Nail on the forehead. So for me, I could sense that, okay, it is Queen Elizabeth II, yeah, it is Pope also, is it France? Yeah, but then like that mode. Can you see that that's how the brain works in an analysis mode, right? That's how it was working for me. But then, this is the deadliest crime, right? So either Queen Elizabeth II must say, yes, Vethapriya, I know what is Atlantic Ocean because you see, I love slaves. You see, I love to steal. You know, I stole crown, Kohinoor crown, that rightful belongs to you. Yeah, I love stealing. And that is the same process I also followed in stealing the electricity that rightful belongs to the Africans. Or Queen Elizabeth should say what? She has never heard about what is Atlantic Ocean. She don't even know Atlantic Ocean. That'd be super fun, isn't it? I'll just slap on her face and I'll just fry her in ashes and ask her to get out. It's a crime. Can you see what crime USA did? USA allowed Queen Elizabeth to live free. She was never disciplined, right? That is why she's doing all this kind of a crap. Even now she's doing that crap. Got it? Okay, so I will quickly read through this civil justice. Now you all got it what the civil justice is all about, right? I filed $50,000 trillion per each nation, isn't it? That means 193 nations. Can you all multiply that $50,000 trillion into 193 nations? Or I would not even bother about that $50,000 trillion, but that's the one I filed it for myself. That means each nation must provide me $50,000 trillion. That is separate. So the baseline penalty is what? $500 billion, $500,000 billion, $500 billion, right? So that I multiply with 193 means that many $1 billion each nation must provide a direct deposit to my bank account. This is how the discipline should be. So London, Portuguese, Spain, Finland, Greenland, Iceland, Norway, Switzerland, France, Germany, right? It'll be super fun to see how they are going to pay that much money. And it is clearly written, Europe nations will be gone in famine. In one day, Europe nations will be gone in ashes. This is written. I can bail out. I can only bail out the nation because the crime is skyrocketing. This crime is skyrocketing. President Joe Biden must resign any moment. So, victims of abuse patients, medical finance aid compensation claims process. In the year summer 2019 to December 2019, I, Vethapriya PROSE, filed lawsuit against at fault and found guilty US nation for $50,000 trillion. And that is why domestic violent prostitute 193 nations worldwide created COVID-19 plague with fatal negligence to enforce pain infliction in my brain nerves as of February 22, 2021. Crime count 1 is at fault prostitute. COVID-19 plague is prostitute 193 nations worldwide failed in welfare services job, and with fatal negligence created COVID-19 plague worldwide and mandated mask worldwide and enforced I, Vethapriya PROSE, to wear the mask, and it is deadliest crime of COVID-19 plague prostitute 193 nations worldwide. To enforce I, Vethapriya, to wear the mask as mandate and creating emotional torture in my brain nerves, I, Vethapriya PROSE, a true civil lawyer, true civil doctor, true civil Supreme Judge for civil justice according to the Holy Bible guidelines, I, Vethapriya PROSE, want prostitute each nation to 193 nations worldwide to pay tax-free $500 billion times 193 is tax-free 965 followed by $50 billion must be direct deposited to my bank account in next 1 second. And wild endangered species, domestic violent, Republica prostitute, absolute monarchs, Queen Elizabeth II, Pope Francis, and phases of Pope Francis failed in absolute monarch's job, and with deadliest crime of domestic violence, fatal negligence, classified as deadliest venom, poisonous wild endangered species, for created COVID-19 plague and mandated mask to enforce emotional torture, pain infliction on brain nerves of I, Vethapriya PROSE. So I want wild endangered species, domestic violent, leprosy patient, Republica prostitute, absolute monarchs to sign off tax-free $500,000 trillion per prostitute absolute monarchs times total absolute monarchs direct deposit or wire transfer to my bank account in next 1 second. Damages to my brain nerves done by prostitute absolute monarchs is classified domestic violence with fatal negligence is proved, and Roman province Jesuits orgs of USA in 50 states of state of Wisconsin, state of Illinois, state of Michigan, state of New York, state of New England, state of Maryland, state of Louisiana, state of Missouri, state of California, state of Oregon must pay separate tax-free $500,000 trillion times 10 states of Jesuits to be 500 followed by $40 billion direct deposit to my bank account, and the domestic violent types provided by each nation worldwide, that is 193 nations, comes under the classification of breach of duty, intentional infliction of emotional distress, causation and injury, battery and types, assault and types, false imprisonment and types, and trespass to land and chattels and types. Yes, my dear fellow mankind, it took a long time. It is 2 hours, 4 minutes, but it's still worth it, a testimony, isn't it? Because these are all absolute crimes that needs to be fixed now, immediately. And I'm displaying why President Trump is innocent, why President Joe Biden is not, right? When President Joe Biden is going to eat a piece of chocolate, he should know where the chocolate is coming from, isn't it? Yes. And because I provided all the healthy processing, healthy fat rate processing, when I'm seeing a lot of reforms in the chocolate reforms alone, I own the chocolate shares. You all know that, right? And United States of America going to provide the shares to me only. Revoke those shares from Queen Elizabeth and give it to me only. Right? Kraft Foods shares also belongs to me only. And yes, I eat chocolate now, but in a very rare way based on my situation, because I can't spend that much for other things for when I'm doing the grocery. But I just wanted to know that, because I'm happy that USA government started to provide that kind of a healthy agriculture fat rate processing, and farmers are getting helped in a baby steps ways. That creates that happiness, right? So then I started, okay, people are listening and reforms are provided, tasks are being worked on. So that creates that healthy emotion for me. Yeah. So I wanted to add that also. So that's pretty much it, my dear fellow mankind. So this is all about the nations. So can you all see, I have to educate what is a nation, what is a national anthem, isn't it? So USA says, in God we trust, in the name of Republica. And I educated why that pledge of alliance of USA is wrong. Because Republica means prostitution. In the name of prostitution only we will live. That is what the meaning of that pledge of USA means. And without knowing that alone, people have been saying that at loud. Pope Francis created that scam and he's going to pay the price for it. Right? USA is mine, USA is my nation. And who is he to destroy the pledge of USA with wrongful and filthy sexual immoral words? I'll fry him in ashes. Whoever destroyed USA will be thrown in volcano. It's as simple as that. I said, just get up. So yes, this is me, this is I am, at the cost of being hated. Right? I signed off civil justice for myself in front of all nations, and I handcuffed. 193 nations means all nations are handcuffed and mandated to kneel down before 7.9 plus billions of humans, and they all must pay me the penalty, and I must get the civil justice according to the Holy Bible guidelines only, right? So yes, it took 2 hours and 7 minutes or so. Thank you all for your time. Take care. Bye for now.